comment time will be limited to 2 minutes per person. And first, we will hear from Steve Edmiston.
Thank you, Commissioners. Executive Director Metric. I'm Steve Edmiston. I'm here for the Briefing Project, where I seek to provide the briefing you asked for but did not receive last year from the FAA and your staff. In my very first comment back on January 30th, titled "The Briefing You Should Have Had," I stated the briefings you received were incomplete. Today, I'm commenting on one of the omissions from those briefings: nationwide lawsuits over the type of flight procedure changes and increased frequencies we face at sea-tac. Here are 3 considerations for policymakers. First, it is likely that with 97,000 additional annual flights in the last 4 years and another proposed 80,000 flights, a lawsuit, just like winter in the Game of Thrones, is coming. This is not because we are a litigious society. This is different. Lawsuits are an integral part of the Witch's Brew ecosystem of FAA self-supervised airport expansions, where the FAA essentially serves as both judge and jury of its own conduct. The U.S. Court of Appeals is simply the first time that any city, state, or community can compel actual independent review. Second, while the lawsuits are unique, they also bear certain hallmarks. 2 examples. Hallmark 1 is the use of marketing-driven community engagement playbooks with no actual weight granted to citizens in decision-making outcomes. And Hallmark 2 is an airport operator that elevates the goal of economic growth and pleasing industry stakeholders over community health and environmental protection. Third consideration, the right type of lawsuit works. The best example is the FAA setback in last year's City of Phoenix case. First, note the teams in that case. Phoenix didn't partner with the FAA. It didn't yield to a vision of economic growth. Instead, it sued the FAA to protect its own citizens. And then America's second highest court sent a powerful message that the standard FAA environmental review playbook failed to identify potential harm to humans, the environment, and historic neighborhoods, homes, parks, and failed to provide for sufficient involvement of city officials and community groups. Read the case. It was a very angry Court of Appeals. And just last month, the entire state of Maryland filed suit over BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. Again, note the teams. Maryland didn't frame the FAA as its partner. Again, it didn't default to an economic growth vision or the needs of industry stakeholders. Maryland chose citizens and the environment first and sued the FAA for failure to assess the impact to the human environment, a defined term under the statute which is worth looking up, the human environment, dating back to 2012, based upon the John McCain provisions in the 2017 National Defense Authorization Act. The good news is our EIS is still coming and you get to still choose your team. Thank you for providing a citizen 3 minutes today to comment. I'm providing a transcript of this comment and my article I wrote last year on the City of Phoenix case to the clerk.
Steve, you'll just give us the citations too. I'm sure they're there.
I will send them along later.
Thank you.
I didn't put them in this transcript.
Thank you.
Yep.